Hey, Jacob. Okay, so my friend Jamie tagged me on your thing, so now I have to help. So thanks, Jamie. Joking, but seriously, thanks. It's cool to be able to be of assistance. So basically, your rounding, your footwork is wacky. That has been discussed. Seems like you're on board with fixing that, hopefully. So look up Brian Earhart's video on the X Step. It's called X Step Deep Dive. He plays with Discraft. He's an excellent coach. He covers that material better than I can, so just go watch his video. That'll get you squared away on the footwork. Um, but also, oh goodness, the sound. Also of note, so here that you're doing a shuffle there. That's like called a Brinster hop or something. Nothing wrong with it. Eric Oakley does that. I think if I'm remembering right, but there's not really much reason to do it, so you might as well learn it the simpler way. But if you're super stuck on that footwork, that's fine. Keep it. But what needs to change is that step needs to have your toes pointing towards the camera, that being a little bit behind 90 degrees, because your knee is forward. So you can't brace right because your knee is going to continue to bend and swoop to the right as we go forward. And then your shoulders and your head end up past your foot and you're not bracing. So you're throwing the disc. You're throwing it very hard, but you're just throwing it with your arm and your core muscles. And it's not, you don't have a kinetic sequence that starts at the ground. So that's what we need to fix. And then in terms of your arms, get this other hand off the disc. That will do nothing good. I haven't even bothered looking at the reasons why, but everyone says that doesn't work. And I agree. So your offhand needs to be doing something, and it can't do that if it's on the disc. That's the simple version. So you're rounding because your arm stays bent. So we'll go into Facebook frame by frame mode, which is not elegant and involves me clicking a lot and nothing happening. But so there you finally ditch your off arm, and your off arm is just going to hang out there and slow you down the rest of the throw. Plant foot is too open. Knee isn't engaged because your toe angle is wrong, so you're not going to get your front leg to stop your front hip. And then this bend never goes away and never gets smaller. So as we hit the next frame, well, okay, I lied. There it gets a little bit more angular. That's good. But look at the angle of your upper arm to your shoulders. You've already pinched the area between your right pec and your bicep. So you're collapsing at the shoulder. You're spinning your shoulders faster than your arm is going forward because you're not using enough muscles in your shoulder to drive the elbow forward. The elbow should be out here at this point. So then as we go forward another frame, now we see more rounding. That arm isn't going to open at the right time because your elbow isn't moving fast enough. Your elbow isn't in front of the throw. And then here your shoulders are probably too far forward by the time you release. So let's pop over to your back shot. Look at that for a second. So same things. Man, sorry. Same little hop. So I would suggest learning a next step instead. Plant foot entirely too open. So if you're throwing straight across the field, your foot should be parallel with the yellow line, maybe even toes backwards a little bit so your heel is closer to the target than your toe. That'll get your knee in the right spot to where you can actually press on the ground and contain your front hip and have your rotation around that front hip. It's actually going to be around your spine, but it's okay to think about it as being around your front hip. So then again, we see this rounding position. And as we go forward frame there, we see your shoulder poke out more, which means you're throwing forward. You're like muscling your shoulder forward, leaning with your shoulder, trying to get the disc to go faster. That's not what we want. We want a central supported spinal column that rotates. And you're driving your shoulder forward like you're trying to shoulder barge a door down. Intuitive, but it's not going to work to make the disc go farther. So there, that last frame, we see your shoulders rotate and the disc didn't move. So you're collapsing your shoulder. You're not supporting the shoulder so that the shoulders can drive the disc. You're just smushing your chest into your bicep. And then next frame, see you continuing with that rounding position. Same. And note the rear hand is just braking. It's just behind you, slowing you down. Okay, so enough of that. What do we want to do instead? Hi, I'm a human. We want to change the footwork. So if I'm throwing that way, initial step, X step, ideally very small, plant. Heel coming down closer to the target than the toes, right? So I'm here, not here. If I go here, all my knee can do as I turn is go that way so it doesn't blow out. As soon as I get here, now I can stop. I can stop my hips before they get on top of my brace. And I can stop my shoulders and my head before they get on top of my brace. So you end up releasing here because you've shouldered and let your knee come out, and then you're tipping forward. So we don't want any tipping forward. We want to contain our forward momentum with the brace. The hip will stop. Everything else will turn around the hip, and then the throw happens from there. So that's a very quick overview of the lower body stuff. The upper body stuff, get that hand off the disc. How much do we want to give you? The offhand, let's try this. This is a new drill I've been messing around with. So try it, see if it works. The offhand, you want 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it'll drift up. So the easiest way to get to that is stand with your feet shoulder width and a half apart and swing your arms like this. So I'm not swinging them in a straight line in front of me. I'm swinging them on two 45-degree angles, and they make a 90 in front. So just do this, let it move your feet so your weight is really rocking back and forth. And then all I'm going to do in slow motion is pick this one up and drop it down right in front of me. And I'm going to do that at a time where it changes the timing and pumps my throwing arm. So it'll look like this. That was a bad one. I feel like I'm late. I'm thinking about it too much. There, that was better. So the little drop makes this go faster. That's all you need to do. So it'll look like boom, boom. So to count it again, 1, 2, 3, 4. So just do this until it starts to make sense timing wise. Just loose, 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 as loose as you can possibly be. And feel how this timing influences this timing. So that's a little bit for the offhand. The way we're going to fix not rounding, we're not going to worry about the scoop. The scoop will go away when you learn correct mechanics. So you have a scoop because you're here, you're going wind up and then throw. So there's a scoop because you're rotational. So what you want to do instead is change your reach back position from, instead of reaching here and keeping this bent, you're not going to let the disc get behind you. So if I'm throwing that way straight into that wall, this does not exist. I never end up here. I'm going to reach not back, but out. And my arm is going to get straight, absolutely dead straight. Then my timing of the off arm is going to come in, and I'm going to drive the elbow straight forward. So the disc, top view, the disc is not going to go back. It's not going to go behind. It's going to go out and back. And then I'm going to drive my shoulder forward in time with my shoulder rotation. So the disc goes from here, from out to in. And this is you want to get to a deep pocket position where your elbow is poking out in front of your body. The disc will be close to your right pec. Sorry, I hit the mic. So you'll be here, drive forward to here, and then release there. So you want to release at 10 o'clock, not 12 o'clock. Super bizarre and confusing. I need to do a video on that. But you want this out to in to out. So you can do this just bounce to kind of get a feel for it. And at first, check out the deep pocket drill on my channel. That can help a lot of times. You'll start doing that thinking about throwing to 12, but then you need to change and make your reach back go like towards 8, so not 9 o'clock directly behind, but towards 8. And then you want to bring your elbow in so that your hand comes to your right pec. And then you want to think about flicking water to 10 o'clock, not to 12 o'clock straight sideways, but to 10 o'clock. So 8 to 10. And if you send your intent to 10 o'clock, then you get you're not stopping anything here. You're just sending your push that direction. And the push is coming not from your tricep, but the timing of your elbow push. So I'm not bicep curling the disc in towards my chest. I'm sending my elbow forward and the arm is folding in. And then that motion continues, the elbow continues to move, and that's what makes the forearm hinge open. I'm not tricep pressing. I'm just moving the elbow so that the forearm moves. I want to time all of that so that peak extension of the elbow happens at 10 o'clock, not 12 o'clock. Go over why later, and that may not make any sense at all. If that's the case, keep throwing a 12. It's fine, but you will be losing power and you will be missing right often. And when you miss right, the disc will go farther than it normally does. So if that happens, get back to me and we can work more on the 10 o'clock thing. But those are the biggest things I want you to work on now. So change the footwork before you practice it a way that's maybe not ideal anymore. And then get a reach out where your arm is straight, a deep pocket, and then the rest will kind of take care of itself. So yeah, start there. Ask questions if you need more help. Good luck to you, sir.